Stand back! It's Shane Hurricane Helms, aka the record-breaking, history-making, longest-reigning, most entertaining cruiserweight champion of all time, and you're watching Geeks with Issues. And if not, what's up with that?
Welcome back, true believers, to another episode of Geeks with Issues 20XX. We've got a very exciting show with all sorts of spoopy topics to discuss. But before we do, I would like to introduce to you your geeks. To my far right and your far left is the 8-bit adventurer himself, Sean.
Greetings!
In the center, coming to us via Zoom, our technologist, Ogre.
Hello.
And I, your friendly neighborhood Geekmaster, am Tuck. Without further ado, let's begin our seasonally spoopy episode with some conversation about horror board games. What are your favorite seasonally appropriate horror, spooky, scary board game picks?
So for me, we don't actually have a lot of board games that would classify as horror in the household. I think the closest thing would be like Villanous, like Disney Villanous, with like Oogie Boogie and Horned King. I mean, that's really it as far as like the actual spooky villains go.
Okay.
I'm surprised they haven't done like Chernabog for that game.
Ooh.
But he seems like he would be very Horned King, where it's just, you just summon skeletons everywhere.
Right. Ogre, what do you think?
Mine. So I have two actually that I generally recommend and pull out around this time of year. Betrayal at House on the Hill is a really good one. So what you do is, it's a cooperative game. So the beginning, you're building a house and you're exploring this house, and things like omens and storytelling things happen along the way. And about halfway through, there's a trigger that happens, and then you have to reference the play manual in order to see how the game ends. So there's everything from a cooperative escape. Maybe there's ghosts that just come out of the ground and you have to escape them with your crew, or somebody is an enemy all of a sudden and you have to kill them before or escape the house, or they kill you, something like that. So that's one of my favorites because it's very dynamic. And yeah. The second one that I do is Eldridge Horror. That one is it's cooperative as well. There's a theme. I like cooperative games. So so this one, you're exploring just different locations across the globe, trying to shore up the world until a dark entity comes to being, whether it's Cthulhu or any of his cohorts there in that particular realm. It's really good. I recommend it. 10/10. So yeah.
Nice. So we have our two biggest like specific themed shelves are Halloween and Christmas. So and co-op games are also a big thing in our household. The one that I'm particularly fond of is actually I'll give an honorable mention for a new one that we recently got. But the one that I'm particularly fond of is the Horrified series. It started off with the Universal Monsters and has expanded. I think there's an edition where the basic premise of the game is you are trying to stop the monsters from reaching whatever their evil objective is. So in the version that has universal monsters, you're like trying to deal with the mummy or hunt Dracula or help Frankenstein get his bride, or all of these very classic horror movie stories. They've got a version that's based around folk monsters, like big. I don't think Bigfoot's in it, but I know the Chupacabra's in it.
Okay.
And the most recent release, which would be interesting for this group to get at some point, is iconic Dungeons and Dragons monsters.
Okay.
So like the dragon, the beholder.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing with D&D monsters is that a lot of them aren't spooky per se.
Right.
Like a lot of the iconic ones are just weird.
True.
Like mimics aren't spooky. They're just weird.
Right.
They're beholders.
They're just upsetting.
Yeah. I also forgot we do technically have Werewolf.
Oh, very nice.
Not the RPG, the one night social deduction game, but it was just me and my wife. Like that's you can't play it with two people. It's like a party game. So there is that.
The second one that I'm going to very quickly recommend, seeing as we've run out of time, which just recently came out, is called DingDong. It's not really a horror. Mm-hmm. You are a grumpy adult who's trying to get rid of obnoxious trick-or-treaters who are trying to prank your house, and you're like sending the trick-or-treaters to your neighbors.
That's great.
It's hysterical.
Nice.
Very much recommended. Staying in theme for our spoopy episode, costumes. We're very mid-effort today on Geeks with Issues 20XX. We've got Sean, who, when I said low effort, went bet and went all out, kind of.
It was just hanging up in the closet. Like I didn't have to do anything aside from figure out how to put it on again this year. And I only have about half the pieces for it right now.
And then there was, and I went into my closet and spent $10 at the local Halloween store for a steampunk hat.
Yeah.
So, but what is
Ogre?
Ogre?
So that's just I just got a hat and a cloak, and I'm just a cloak hat man.
This year for Halloween, I'm going as Cloak Hat Man.
It's Shakespeare.
So, the premise of this question is sort of double-angled. What is the favorite costume that you have worn in the past, whether it's for Halloween or for not Halloween, because we're geeks and we get dressed up for conventions and other things? Or, alternately, if you haven't had the opportunity to have a really good costume, what would the costume that you want to be in be? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. As it was coming out of my mouth, I was wondering if I was being a baby.
For me, it's a costume that I've worn in the past, but have always wanted to upgrade with several pieces, which is like a Link costume, but specifically Twilight Princess Link. Where it's I've always been interested in like trying to get like a cheap chainmail shirt, because right now it replaces it with like burlap, which is it's not very comfortable, folks. Like I know comparatively chainmail doesn't seem like it would be very comfortable. Let me tell you, chainmail would be more comfortable. But to also get like some like bracers and gloves, because it just has like cheap like fake leather
Okay.
stuff, some actual boots, like a decent belt, and like if I could get a belt bandolier combo that didn't have to be custom made, that would be fantastic. But I assume it would have to be custom made. But yeah, Link's a great character. He's got a great costume that is very popular for cosplaying as. But that would be my pick, is upgrading a current costume that I have.
Ogre?
So I got. Man. So two costumes. So one I'm gonna flex a little bit because my dad used to work for the circus, and he and his company were in control of designing Star Wars on ice. Ooh. So one of the wonderful things that I was able to do is see the original costumes for that they had delivered there. So Darth Vader's costume was there. Boba Fett's costume was there. I don't tell anyone. Because I was tiny, I was like 8 years old. I climbed into R2-D2 because I was small enough and got to be inside R2-D2 while they were at the companies. I'm not going to name it because I don't know if it's real or not there anymore. I think they're still around there, but. That was probably the coolest costume I ever got a chance to get into there. I've always wanted to do a full set of foam armor, just to flex either like the Black Knight or something like that. Just maybe a power suit or something. I don't know, but some kind of just full body foam armor suit. Just make it from scratch. Yeah.
Nice. So this one is tricky because I've not, other than that 1 year in second grade when I had like an on-point Bela Lugosi Dracula costume that won me a prize that year.
Oh, very nice.
I haven't had a very strong costume of any sort. Mm-hmm. I don't know. This one caught me off guard. I don't know what I would do. Probably, I think the costume that I've always wanted to do, cosplay or otherwise, is Alucard from Hellsing.
Okay.
Really, bringing it back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of bringing it back, it's time to bring back A Journey from the Basement. And this episode, we are heading down to Lee, Massachusetts to check out Main Street Comics, as of this taping, relatively new comic shop to the area that is a fantastic experience. And we'll just let Trevor tell the story.
Today's journey takes us out of the basement and onto Main Street in Lee, Massachusetts, home of Main Street Comics, Toys, and More. From the outside, it looks like a quiet little shop, but step through the door and you're surrounded by decades of pop culture, comics, collectibles, trading cards, it's all here. Whether you're a lifelong collector or just chasing a bit of nostalgia, this place is a reminder of why we fell in love with this stuff in the first place. Hey, true believers. We're here for another journey from the basement. I'm here with Ryan from Main Street Comics.
How are you?
Tell me a little bit about the shop, man. How long you been here? A little bit about it.
So the shop's been here for about 2 years. It's always been, I've been a collector my whole life. So it's always been my dream to open up a shop like this, kind of in the back of my head. It's kind of an excuse why I've accumulated so much, I like to say. First round of product that was in here, I filled this store about 90% with stuff from my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is, good and bad,
That's
I guess.
awesome. That shows you geeks.
Yeah.
If anybody tells you to stop collecting all your random weird stuff, don't do it.
Keep it
Don't
at
do it. So what do you think, what do you sell the most of, man? Is it comics? Is it action figures?
So comic books are always a big seller here, between new stuff, old stuff. But, it ebbs and flows. There's days when comics will be the main seller. Next day it'll be action figures. Some day it's Pokemon cards. It kind of ebbs and flows. There's never one category that's jumps over the other one, but at the end of the month, it ends up being it's comics.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
One thing I know that I've seen that people have been having trouble with, and I have trouble with myself just working in a retail store, is keeping things like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering in stock.
Yeah.
Do you have trouble with that? Like, is
Absolutely.
Pokemon just flying out the door for you?
Yeah. So small stores like us feel the biggest impact from, product getting hot like that, especially a store my size. So our allocations are generally pretty thin. So we try to keep as much back as we can so everyone has a chance. So we put limits on everything.
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
do the best. But, with dwindling products, eventually you run out. So we're always trying to resupply. I have a good network of people that, are selling product to me. So be able to keep going, but not where I want to be with some of that stuff.
Is there anything in the store that you think is like the most coveted item you have, or maybe the most expensive item you have?
Well, we have a lot of expensive items, but coveted things move in and move out all the time. So when something, big leaves here, we get other stuff that just happens to fall in our lap. Like recently, we got some carded Star Wars, vintage Star Wars figures. It just so happens that when we sell cool stuff just happens to come back.
Every corner of Main Street Comics has something waiting to catch your eye. 60 long boxes of comics line the back room, a treasure hunt for every era of storytelling. The walls are packed with G.I. Joe, Transformers, He-Man, Godzilla, Marvel, DC, and more. A roll call of heroes and villains from across generations. New issues hit every Wednesday, and their pull list service keeps collectors ahead of the game. Then there are the display cases, filled with vintage toys and rare figures that blur the line between memory and museum piece. This isn't just a shop. It's a celebration of what makes geek culture timeless. So, as far as being a geek, clearly there's things you enjoy here, everything I'm seeing in front of me. Is there anything someone might have a hard time believing you're a geek about, or is there like a hidden thing?
Yeah, I guess I'm really into plants and birds.
Oh, that's awesome. Man.
Yeah. So I have a horticulture background, so I just that was where I started. So I always have a little bit of geek for it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You understand what it's like to have something that's precious and nurtured a little bit. I feel like you take care with comics and things like that. Yeah. Both things you would put white gloves on for.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm also a huge football fan.
Would you say you're Marvel over DC or DC over Marvel?
Right now, my readership is primarily DC. I'm more excited about what DC's doing right now. Yeah. Not to say Marvel isn't producing some good stuff, and there's tons in the independent scene right now that are fantastic. But I'm just most excited about what DC's doing.
Yeah, well, we'll see what they've got coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I see your board up here.
Yeah.
New comics and new things like that. As far as community events, do you have stuff that goes on every week?
So we just were able to join like Wizard Play Network, Pokemon Play, so we're just getting our way out here. We do have table space. I offer free play every Thursday. Come the winter time, we do pre-release events for Magic, pre-release for Pokemon, One Piece. So yeah, we always populate our event calendar with all the card games. And Warhammer, not so much. Some Blood Bowl a little bit, in the wintertime. But pretty much I leave my tables open on a daily basis for anyone who wants to come in to play. If you come in here on a Saturday, there'll be a bunch of dudes hanging out here. We're rapping, watching a movie. There might be someone playing in back. We just like to have a chill atmosphere.
That's really cool.
Yeah, because Saturdays are real fun. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays are fun here because all the regulars come. We all hang out. So.
Being a kid, man, I remember the weekends were for going to the local card store, trying to get whatever I could get. Yeah. Trading comics with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good memories for everybody, man. I feel like a lot of people need a place like this.
Yeah, well, we're gonna give it our best shot to stay around for a while. So.
Well, I mean, we'll definitely be back. We'll definitely be keeping in touch for things.
Cool.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate the time.
Excellent, man. That's our stop at Main Street Comics, Toys, and More. A small-town shop with a big-time heart for collectors and fans alike. Huge thanks to the team here for letting us explore and geek out for a while. If you enjoyed the trip, stick around. There are plenty more journeys waiting just beyond the basement.
So, Geeks, I'm curious about your thoughts about, because we're all, whether we're physically there or not, we're all Berkshire County, Massachusetts natives in one way or another.
Correct.
How do you feel about this increase in geek culture that we're seeing with Mana Crypt and Main Street Comics and the other sites that Ogre's had Ogre, yeah, right, that Trevor has had an opportunity to share during Journeys from the Basement.
So I think it's funny you say that because we're all in the same sort of age bracket where I see it more as a returning of those types of locations because there was a period where we had lots of stuff like that. And then, due to life events or business sort of ebb and flow and stuff, like places closed or moved out.
Right.
And then I see it as more of a resurgence of that coming into the county. I'm thinking, so perhaps somewhat controversial, but there was virtual reality comics.
Right.
Or Lennox sports cards and memorabilia for those of us that were.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's going. All right. I'm dating myself, so I'm gonna stop.
I used to go by Mage Night there. Figure that one out.
Very nice.
I bought the 7th C TCG.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm weird. Yep.
Hopefully, wherever you are, you're also seeing a resurgence of geek stores and geek media and things of that nature, because it's an awesome thing to see.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, speaking of collectible cards and things of that nature, I'm about to lead in with a spicy take.
I was gonna say this is spicy.
They're coming for your fandom.
Yeah.
They're Hasbro. And they want what you love from your childhood.
Yeah, so Universes Beyond.
Yep.
It is a relatively beloved effort that Wizards of the Coast is engaged in to touch on what I would say touch on nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
By turning people's memories into Magic cards.
Yes.
They've done Final Fantasy, they've done Doctor Who, they've done Warhammer 40K.
I was gonna say, do we want the full rundown?
Yeah, please.
All right,
go for it.
So we've got Lord of the Rings. We have technically Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Both Forgotten Realms and specifically Baldur's Gate. We have gotten Warhammer, Doctor Who, Final Fantasy. We've gotten My Little Pony. We've gotten Street Fighter. We have gotten The Walking Dead, Stranger Things, SpongeBob. We
Transformers.
have had Transformers. There has been very recently Spider-Man. There was also X-Men and Avengers. And upcoming is Avatar, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I feel like there's maybe like one or two more that were in Secret Lairs specifically that I'm forgetting.
So
Star Trek and The Hobbit.
Star Trek and The Hobbit are coming as well.
So Star Trek is the one that for the first time I felt queasy. I am beginning to, and I don't know if anyone else has had this experience yet, because it has none of the fandoms that are like near and dear to my heart have been things I'm fond of, but not like core geek components to me have been touched by Universes Beyond yet. I found out that they were doing Star Trek and had that, I don't think I'm comfortable with this anymore.
So what's also complicated is that they've missed the boat to do the easy tie-in. Because
yes.
Magic has done Edge of Eternities, which is Magic in space.
Yes.
Like they introduced starships, they revamped the commander rules so that you can have so that you can have a vehicle, like a legendary vehicle as your commander.
Right.
Like that would have been the time to do the tie-in. But I don't know if like the licensing didn't pan out or something where it's like staggered now.
Or they were trying to establish that they could do a science fiction space-based story justice before they launched the tie-in.
Yeah. I am on record as saying I don't have a problem with the idea of universes beyond. Also, forgot Sonic the Hedgehog. That was also another secret lair. I still don't have a problem with the idea of doing crossovers with other properties. That said, I do have an issue with the cadence that they're doing full sets of universes beyond, to the exclusion of doing like Magic the Gathering properties.
Well, and I think that's the place that
is like the next 3 sets are just universes beyond.
Right.
And it's one right after another. And they're all Nickelodeon.
Right. Well, and I think I understand there's that, like, not only are they playing off the nostalgia component, they're playing off that, the geeky playground thing of my franchise is better than your franchise.
Yeah.
Who would win in a fight, SpongeBob or Donatello?
Yeah.
I understand that's like the vibe they're going for, but back in my day, Urza and the Weatherlight. Like, you're coming for my franchises to play off of my nostalgia and completely abandoning what makes Magic unique and interesting.
Yeah. Part of the thing is that, for me personally, Magic's story has not been interesting for at least like a decade.
Well, yeah,
because they turned Planeswalkers into the Avengers and made it like the Super Friends. But that's a whole nother topic. I think the main thing is that Universes Beyond is now standard legal.
Right.
Like the sets coming in are all standard legal. When if they had limited the number of incoming sets and made them commander-only products, I don't think it would have been as much of a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ogre, any thoughts that we haven't touched upon?
You covered all my thoughts there. The only thing I would build a deck that has both the Defiant in it and the Millennium Falcon. So I think if we can start to, I don't know, I've always wanted to have a Star Wars deck versus a Star Trek deck, or a Ninja Turtles deck versus a Battletoads deck, or a Batman deck versus the Darkness deck or something like that, where you can do these versus things. So they had back in I think it was early 2000s, late 90s, they had the crossover comic books that were just wild between if they can bring back that nostalgia.
Crossover properties are a whole other spicy topic for me. We won't go there.
Star Trek and X-Men. Oh yes. You never read that comic book?
Oh no, I did.
It for you.
I did. Before the show runs into the scary place of over half an hour, I think it's time that we bring it to a close. So we want to thank you for joining us for our holiday episode of Geeks with Issues 20XX. We hope to see you next time, but until then, this has been
Sean,
Ogre,
and Tuck, hoping that you geek on, geek out, and geek anywhere. Just clean up after yourself. We'll see you next time on Geeks with Issues. Goodbye, everybody.
You gotta blow on it. You gotta blow on it. I used to think anything was possible. I thought that I could be a king or Caesar. But I don't need all of that gold or silver. That's how I know that I'm a true believer.
corporate ladder, TPS reports, politics and schemes. Thanks to my chainsaw, my cubicle is firewood. Now I'm living in a basement of dreams.